Here we go. She's on 5 to 7, 9 to 10 p.m. on the Range Broadcasting Fallback Productions. Talks about topics of the day and loves her country, the U.S. of A. Got her Get Right rally on tax day. Got family country Trump is her thing. She don't know the songs, gives Dave a hard time. Don't worry, it's fine, he's still her Valentine. Keeps us in the loop. Don't you know, sit back and enjoy the Lucretia Hughes Show.
Hey guys, it's Sandy Blooms out here today with Lucretia Hughes. Is it Lucretia Hughes or Lucretia? I've heard the media butcher your name.
Lucretia Hughes Klukin.
Lucretia Hughes Klukin. Okay. And it's a good thing to have you here with us today. I'm going to stop and give a moment of applause for you. That's right. Not a moment of silence, but a moment of applause because we appreciate everything you're doing here for the Republican Party and for conservatives. Now, you have had a lot go on personally, but you have not let that stop you at any point in time. You are still standing strong on your beliefs. And so now we got to cut straight on into the meat about these gun laws. All right. There are a few topics that we're going to touch on today. We want to talk about the gun laws. We want to talk about the government. We want to talk about some things you said in a video about issues on Black and the agenda with Blacks in Georgia specifically. So if you could, let's break on into it. Now, in specific, there was, I think, an interview that either you did for CNN or CNN took of you as a clip and kind of butchered it. And in that clip, they were talking about the gun laws. Now, a little bit of history, I'll let you give that history about yourself, but in the video, it was talking about how you were not calling for stricter gun laws in a time where the left, in a time where people are seeing an uprising in mass shootings. A mass shooting is just where a person aimlessly shoots and multiple people are injured, unlike the narrative that Democrats are trying to control right now. Why is that? Why are you okay with, your personal circumstances? Hopefully you can give us a little bit of insight, being with the gun laws not being so strict right now.
Well, that was my testimony in front of Congress, and actually it was last year in June when I had the opportunity to testify in front of Congress. I was up there because they was trying to put another law to restrict our gun rights. It's not a privilege. We have rights in America, and we have it because the founding documents gave us our right. You can nitpick the rights all you want, but you can nitpick a country that you want to go live in too. But I want a country that is ruled by law and by the Constitution. So if we are guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States to make sure that we are a well-regulated militia, I don't care if you're in the hoods or the woods, it is your right to have that gun. Now, if you're a felon, you did something to get those rights taken away. But I shouldn't have to suffer because some lunatic, someone that wants to cause death and destruction, or someone that wants to come and take my life. I should be able to protect myself and my family members at all costs, because the police is not going to do it.
Absolutely. So two things. I want to know, what is that you have in your hand, number one? And then number two, I want to say that there was a kind of a confrontational dispute back and forth with some people who were going against Marjorie Taylor Greene. And they were basically saying that all of these shootings, these mass shootings that have been happening, have been only from Army, Navy veterans or mentally ill people who have snapped and decided to go on some kind of concourse of killing people. And I kind of rebutted that, coming from the lower income societies all throughout America, every day we're seeing some sort of mass shooting happening. So if you could address that.
How do they even regulate that? This is the Constitution of the United States of America. This is something that the Democrats and the Rhino Republicans can't get around. They've been trying to test it. Now they be calling to repeal and replace the Constitution of the United States. No. Ain't nothing wrong with this. Once you abide by what our founding fathers actually give us, this isn't a living, a breathing thing that you think you could go in there and manipulate at their will. This is given all of us, no matter if you're rich, poor, Black, white, gay, or straight. This is our fundamental freedoms of the United States. So if you don't know this, Don't argue with me. Who you really mad at? Do your own research. So if people, and I know they don't teach civics anymore in school, but if you don't know anything else, that's why they don't have cursive anymore, because our founding documents was in cursive. So if they don't have, people can't understand the cursive writing, this is going to be all for naught sooner or later. We're going to
No,
go back to
absolutely.
writing the X's on our. So how can you get people to be ignorant of the facts of their rights? You bury those facts, you bury those rights, you start getting them to squabble amongst each other, and sooner or later, all of their privileges and rights is going to be snatched off and under them. But we saw that during COVID-19.
No, absolutely, we did. So, in the instance where they're trying to take these laws away, and they're saying that, listen, it's only Navy people who have been in the Marines, people who've been in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, people who have snapped, people who have mental illnesses. Are you seeing that this is only the case? And do you feel like a stricter gun law is going to matter, especially in the instance where most of the people who are possessing the guns and doing these mass shootings all throughout the neighborhoods in which I just told you out in America are criminals, have been convicted felons, and they don't legally possess or legally carry?
If you're looking at the national level, your state level, all 50 states, there are over 40,000 pieces of laws against our gun rights. What has that stopped? Had that stopped Little Pookie of Ray Ray? Had that stopped somebody with blue hair rocking some skinny jeans from going in and blowing up stuff? Has it stopped the gun-free zones from the gun-free killing? It hasn't stopped anything. And if these politicians and these regulators and their nepotism friends are allowed to have armed security, then out here in the woods, in suburbia, and the rules, and even over there on MLK Boulevard, we should be able to have the same rights that they have. If you finna weaponize the whole federal government against the citizens of America, we need that same thing. And this is what the Constitution, this is what they hate. I know my rights. Number 2 of the Constitution, the Second Amendment, people. A well-regulated militia, that's anyone with a gun, anyone that's illegally being able to own a gun. That's what that means. Red, yellow, black, white, gay, and straight, not just politicians. Okay, remember your rights. Being necessary to the security of the free state. The free state is the United States of America. All 50. I don't care if you live in Puerto Rico. I really don't care if you live in Hawaii or Guam. These are your fundamental rights, okay? Unless you have broken the law. That's you. That's consequences to your actions. Okay, it also says, because they love to put a comma in here, okay, but it's not many commas. The right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. There's a period, the end after it. I don't care about Sally Snowflake. I don't care about Moms Against Action. I lost my son too, but I would never advocate for not only the fun of the police, but never advocate for me to get rid of my own safety protection. And I'm not going to give up my rights at all. And I'm going to fight to the end.
No, absolutely. And I get that completely. So there's a few things that you said when you said about rhinos, even the rhinos have to abide by it. So could you define to me what a rhino is to you? What is a rhino?
Rhino is someone is literally called a Republican in name only. I'm going to say this one more time. The platform for the Republican Party is less taxes, less government, and more self-responsibility. When you start having elected officials going against their own platform or going against their own oath of their own political party, and they think they're leaders, and only thing they're surrounded themselves by is the people that has the money, sooner or later they're going to compromise the moral and value of the Republican motto or brand. But I'm sorry, this ain't the firm. This is my life, and I have 9 grandchildren. This is the only platform right now that still worship my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This is the same one that gives me the fundamental freedoms of what I have. This is the same one that still wants less taxes, but how much money you got to put in their pockets? I'm over that. Those are the ones I call rhino. The Bushes, well, I'm calling out names. All the rest of them that have been up there to compromise the morals and values and the sovereignty of America. If you won't fight against the Democrats, if you won't fight against Joe Biden, you won't fight against the New World Order, the UN, the WHO, or the CDC, you're no friend to me.
Yeah. So are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a Trump watcher. Trump watcher. Oh,
what
yeah.
Do you feel like
in September, I get to speak right before Donald J. Trump. That means I get to hit that stage in front of 50 100,000 people. My whole motto is God, family, country, and the support of Donald J. Trump. But those first three will never change in my life. So he could only take office for 2 terms. He's only going to be up there for 4 more when he get elected again. So there's going to be somebody else step up in the forefront. So he's not my master. He ain't my leader. My master and leader is Jesus Christ, God Almighty. The rest of it, he's just a man, just like I'm a woman, but I'm not confused about 127 genders.
Right. So how do you feel about the media kind of playing him out to be this bad person? So if you're a Trump supporter, let me just ask you this before you answer that question. Do you feel like Brad Raffensperger, Mike Pence, and Brian Kemp are what you consider rhinos?
Yes, 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 they are. And I tell it to their name. Hey, Brad, you're a rhino, bro. Hey, Brian Kemp, you're the same guy that told me to get up and run against the 4th most powerful person in the state of Georgia. You're a straight rhino. You're the same one that called my best friends to tell them that if they did not stop hanging around to me because of my loud mouth and because I got a media company and I'm calling Republicans to the carpet, you're not a friend of mine either. But thank you, Governor, for putting my name in your mouth.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That was
And so you're
ugly of
standing
y'all.
up completely, and I think that's what we need. I think they say there's a division in the party. There's not a
They put it
division.
there.
There's
We
no
ain't
no
got
there,
the
there's not a
power.
division. There are, like you said, there's rhinos and there are Republicans, and
I mean, they did it.
you
It
can't
ain't
mix the
us.
two. I think that it's kind of similar with this gender things. There are not this extra. I think there are men, there are women, there are people to have what's called sexual ventures in their own personal life and their personal time.
I
But
don't care
I
who you
don't think.
scissor leg, but why you got to shove it in my 90-year-old grandson's mouth? Why do you got to shove it in my oldest grandson, who is 12? We were just standing in the kitchen and he, I said, the month is June. And he said, Happy Pride Month. I said, what did you just say? Happy who month? He said, well, the rainbow, whoosh. Now, let me tell you what the rainbow really stands for. Right. And there was a guy and his family named Noah. Okay. There was a big old boat way back then. The rainbow and the flag itself is a covenant between God and yourself. So as long as there is a rainbow in the sky, it will not be water, but it'll be fire the next time. Tell your teachers to come and talk to me. I ain't playing with people.
And you said something earlier. You said something about being taught in the schools what the kids have time for, but they're not being taught certain things. So how do you feel about the fact that they're not teaching economics, ergonomics, financial wealth, growth, laws, even, how to take care of themselves and sustain themselves? But they put in and implemented satanic enrichment programs and pride LGBTQ friendly programs, but they are not teaching their children how to sustain. How do you feel about that?
That's when the grandparents like me come in. That's when the mom and dad sit them down to balance a checkbook. That's when they teach them cursive writing, because my fathers, all 3 of them, always told me, if you want to hide the truth, you put it in a book. So most people would never pick up a book. So guess what they do this whole summer while they've been here? They acting like kids. And if they have a question, I'm going to answer it. If there's something that comes out of their mouth, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to them. It starts at home. And as long, I don't care if you're a single mom, I don't care if you're a single dad, you take that time out and you teach the kids the fundamental way that they should live their life. They may stray off that path, but sooner or later, they're going to get tired of it because that's not how they was raised. Sooner or later, they're going to get tired of the misery because that's not how they was raised. And they're going to start coming right back to that solid foundation that your family, your God, and your country has instilled in you. Nobody going to be here 100 years saying men can have babies. That's the asinine. And I'm not going to play make-believe. We are closed the insane asylum for a reason, but my name was not on a roll. So that's all. I'm just crazy, and I'm not falling into it.
No, absolutely.
I don't care if I hurt their feelings either.
So you are a very strong leader. You're somebody who's influential. And now when I've done my research, I've done a lot of research. Before I even had a chance, I've met you twice at 2 different events. And before I had a chance to meet you, I've done research on you. I was informed on the things you were speaking about. And I just want to tell you, as a woman, regardless of race, it really touches me to see you stand firm. And now, I'm also an activist. I was a delegate with you at this prior convention, but I've not seen what you know, a lot that I've seen from you and your energy and how you're getting out here, how you're unafraid to speak, especially when people are being sat down. This is the sit you down movement that's been going on, called, AKA censorship. And, you know, like you said, we do have people who are trying to silence you from both sides, and you are like, you're headstrong with this. But in my research, I've not seen you with the Black Republican Council much, or on their websites and stuff. Now, do you stay separate from them, or is that just something that you just don't have? What's going on there?
They don't ask, I don't go. One more time, I ain't going nowhere where there's quietness when you walk in the room.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't ask for me to sit at the table, why would I go to any of these? That's somebody saying, well, you don't promote this. Why are we promoting anything? Tonight's show for us is 1366. We do our own documentary. We have our own media company. I go around and speak around the nation, and it's only because God has laid out that path. So unless these people, it ain't like they don't know me. And if they don't know me, then find out about me. But I'm not going to go up into a meeting if I'm not supposed to be there. I'm not going to go sit at no table and just try to step on other people's toes. When God opened up a particular door for me, then I'm going to walk through it. But right now, he's gotten me around the bikers, you know, the I guess you want to call them the low life, the scrubs of society. I call them friendlies, the 2A movements, the moms, the grandfathers, the grandmothers, the people that think they don't have a voice. I don't have to go look at people at them, because the first time I get country and ghetto at the same time, they're going to look at me in a certain way, and I'm going to go off on one of those people on that council. So if I ain't there to play games with these people, and I ain't got a position at the table, I'm gonna knock the dust off and keep going until I find the clique that I'm supposed to be with.
Do you feel like having a Black council creates more segregation in the party, or
it gives us a voice?
Okay. It's
regardless of if there's a white person in a Democratic movement, they got to find their way. Just like the Black people, they got to find their way. Hispanics got to find their way. But
minorities,
once we start having all of these different segments band together, that's when we're powerful. That's when we're more dangerous, because we all have something to bring to the table. So if people like Dr. Alvita, if people like all these people on the Black Conservative Council or the Black Republican councils, kudos to them. Way to go. They done went through a lot and they done made a lot of networking in order to become that powerful, to have a voice like that. So I wait my turn. I truly admire these people, but I admire them from a distance. I'm just not all up in their face. There was one guy, when I first said that one day I'm gonna sit on Trump's gold toilet, he said, don't be thirsty. And I just kind of looked at him. He said, just don't be thirsty about it. Wait your turn. And ever since, I have literally been just sitting back. So somebody said, when you meet Trump in September, what are you going to say? We did it on our own. Who helped y'all? To no damn body.
Okay.
No, what meeting you went to? None of them. You
all right.
Invited? No. You've been doing this for a while. Google me. So all these people's like, where you come from? I'm 49 today. I've been here for 49 years. Ooh. I just ain't rich enough. Maybe I don't put my pinky up in the air enough. I don't wear enough makeup, and I like tennis shoes and blue jeans. So I pick up a 9mm instead of picking up a glass of Chardonnay. I am a liquor girl, not some bourgeois country club girl. So I'm good with the fishing and the country boys and girls. So I like my friendlies, because we the troublemakers.
I understand that completely. And you know what? And I think that we need more people who are willing to get out there. Now, I'll tell you, I might have the bourgeois for the both of us. But if you come in my house, you know, and it took me a while to get there. It actually did. It took me I had to go through some traumatic experiences before I didn't snap, because that's a psychological, you know, dysphoria. But it took me some time to gain the courage to say, you know what? Enough is enough. I've learned to say no to people. I've learned to do a lot of things, you know, shoot guns, carry my own. I have boundaries. Right.
You know what you want. It's okay to be nice, nasty.
Yeah, no, yep. That's it. I learned how to be nice, nasty, and not just nice.
Come straight at me. Don't do me sideways, because I'm coming straight at you. So if you nice, nasty, and you think you're gonna make me the clown of everything, I'm gonna snap that quick. Snap. So it's a time and a place for me. And I know if I'm not going to be welcome, I'm just not going to go.
Exactly. And so, and I think a lot of people feel like that about the Black Council. We don't hear them prominently, like when we hear about national news, AP News, CNN, all these different features like you've been, heard on. We don't necessarily hear them being talked about, but that's a council that I do know about. And I do extensive research because, when I'm interviewing, I have to be able to know if you pop at me with a question, I have to be able to, come right back. So
Admire those people, admire all of them. I truly do. But I just wish them the best, and whatever agenda or narrative or whatever they're trying to accomplish, I wish them all the best of whatever they want to accomplish.
right. And see, I think that's in human nature. You have the right. We all have our rights to associate with who we want to, whether we want to or not want to. We can, not be incoherent to what's going on, but we don't have to get involved with it, so to speak. So I do want to ask you a difficult question. I know our time is wrapping up here on that 30-minute mark, but I do appreciate you for being here. I can't wait to make it out to you so we can be in person. So one of my last questions, I want to give you a little bit of time to detail is, now you say you're a Trump supporter. Now Trump, he was featured in the news several times for saying stuff about Kim Jong-un. Now they have had a love-hate relationship apparently, and from times where Trump's like, hey, I have a button that if I push that button, my button's gonna respond a lot faster than your missile, and they're going back and forth, and they were writing each other these little letters, maybe going off at each other in the most crazy way, right? But he actually said to him that Kim Jong-un, that he was proud of him in a Twitter tweet not too many days ago for getting in with the World Health Organization. Now we know that's the WHO, and along with the list of people that you were saying, if you do business with George Soros, these people, it's a no for me because I can't deal with you. You want to hurt the people. You're not for the people, right? So how do you feel about him saying that to Kim Jong-un?
Okay, this is why I tell people 80-20 is a good man for me. Who cares? I mean, he's the first president in history to step across that line and say, what's up, bro? I'm here. And the dude didn't kill him. I'll just be honest. He's done stuff that other people have never done before. At least he ain't given nuclear capabilities to countries like Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, and all the rest of them. So with Trump, let me explain to you with a whole bunch of these people why we are so weak right now. Muslim nations and Kim Jong-un, especially with his crazy psychopathic sister, they like strength. If you come into the world stage with weakness or woman, you're not finna get nowhere in this world or this a global playing field. Now, when it comes to Kim Jong-un joining the World Health Organization, okay, but you know what? Trump has done stuff that other people can't. The only thing that will make me turn away from Trump, if I heard that he slept with Hillary Clinton or he signed another 10-year peace agreement, because I believe in biblical revelations. I believe in prophecy, and I truly believe in Armageddon. So I believe in tribulation, and that anybody that knows that if all these countries get together and sign a peace accord, it will be desecrated within 3.5 years. It's not going to turn out the way that everybody wants it to. There will never be peace in the Middle East. And if it happens, just look at everybody sideways, get your life in order, make sure you're ammoed up, because and keep your eyes to the sky, because he's about to crack it at any time. That's how I feel about it.
Then the end will come according to Revelation.
But Donald Trump at this time, I feel, me personally, and it's not because I'm a Trumpster, I'm just saved by the blood of Jesus Christ. We on the good side of history this time around. This time around, I will not be shaken, neither my foundation, but I truly know in my heart of heart and in my being, we're on the right side of history. And as long as we stand by our firm beliefs, and regardless if it's Donald J. Trump or the foundation of God, family, and country, then we're going to win. So y'all remember that. It's going to get harder because we still got 2 years of Joe Biden and the West execs backed up by Barack Obama. So everybody start prepping, start researching, know the signs and the wonders, and also get out there and witness in his name, because that's the only commandment he truly gave us.
Amen. I do appreciate that. Now, I do want to say, when I make it out to you, I want to discuss a little bit further and a little bit into depth about some of the ideologies that the Democrats are trying to push on our people, maybe debunk some of the ideas, because
Yes.
I meet a lot of people and I tell them I'm Republican and they're like, oh my God, you're a Black Latina Republican. How can that be? And I'm just like, Constitution, I'm all for what's right. We've moved over from, we're not in a caste system
How do we
anymore.
gotta explain that? Thank you. You don't have to explain, because I put it to you like this: heaven ain't gonna be segregated. So we don't have to spend down here in hell. Why do we gotta spend eternity with them? So you don't have to explain your ways right now. Get set in them so it never be shakable. Get your foundation build on rocks and not sand. And as long as you know what you're gonna represent, God, family, country, or Trump, you got 4 topics. Those 4 topics can go 1,000 ways and you'll never have to repeat yourself. So you're a Latina, you're a Republican, you're a conservative, you believe in the foundation of this nation, you know what your foundation of your spiritual life is, you know what you want to see in the future. Start there, and every rock that somebody throws at you, pick that boulder up and put it down as a foundation and keep stepping forward. No one can stop you but you.
Absolutely. And I think that's a perfect time to end on, guys. I've been Sandy Blooms. This has been Lucretia Hughes. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And I look forward to coming out your way pretty soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are here to defend democracy.
Misinformation poses a threat to our nation's health.
Climate change is an emergency.
Democratic socialism.
Codify one's right to choose.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15